Commencing test 4. So we can see the initial evaluated score for the position is negative 315. So if we initially look at black's orientation here, looking at the bishops, black has a bishop here with negative 10. And black has another bishop here with negative 10. Looking at the knights, black has a knight here with negative 40. And black has a knight here with a score of 20. And then if we look at black's pawns, black has 3 here, 5, 10, 10. Black has another pawn here with 20. No pawn here, and then we have negative 10, 10, 5. Looking at black's queen, black's queen is here with 0. Black's king is there, it's mid-game, so that it will be that piece square with 0. Both the rooks are in the corners with 0. And then computing white's pieces, so white has a bishop here with negative 10, and another bishop there, with 10. And then looking at the knights, white has a knight here with negative 40. And white has no other knights, so that will be 0. And then white here, white is down a knight. If I look at the pawns, we can see 5, 10, 10 is the first 3. And then the next one is 0. And then white's next 3 pawns are 10, 10, 5 here. Looking at white's queen. White has a queen here with a score of 5. White's king is here, it's mid-game, and that will have a score of 0. White's rooks are both in the corner, and from earlier that is 0 and 0. Computing the overall piece squares. Computing the piece squares, black's overall piece square is 10, white's overall piece square is 15. We do white score minus black score, which is 5. All of the materials are equal apart from knights, so because it's the difference, they both have 2 bishops, same amount of pawns, same queens, same kings, same rooks. White is down a knight, so if I go here, the value of a knight is 320. So white being down a knight favours black, so that'll be negative 320, so the material value total is negative 320. And then if we do negative 320 plus that difference there, 5, gives me negative 315, which is the score as evaluated by the AI, thus proving that my evaluation function works as intended. The second fen for test 4. We can see the evaluated score for the position is 440. Now if we count the bishops for black, black has bishop here and a bishop here, so that will be negative 10 and negative 10. Black has no knights on the board at all. So that would be 0 for both of these. I'll just say no knights. And then counting the pawns. So we have a pawn on 5 and 10. We have no pawns on this file, no black pawns on this file, and then we have another one here, which is 20. And then 20, and then 0 for the next one. And then it will be 0 again for this one. 0, negative 5, and 5. Black's queen. Black's queen is here with a score of -5. Black has no other queens. Black's king is there, and it is mid-game. It has 0. Black's rooks, both in the corners, that is 0 and 0. Now looking at white. So white's bishops, we have one here, which has a score of 10. White has another bishop here, which has a score of 5. Now white's knights. White has a knight there. With a score of 20. And then white has no other knights. And if I look at white's pawns, white has 5, 10, 10, the first 3. And then white has no pawns on this file. We have a pawn here. Which has 20. And then white has these 3 pawns here, which is 10, 10, 5. White's queen. White's queen is here with a score of -5. White has no other queens. White's king is here with a score of 30, as it is mid-game. And then white's rooks. We have one rook in the corner, which is 0, and then the other rook is here, also with 0. And now computing the piece squares and material differences. And then when computing the piece square scores, I get 10 for black, 130 for white. White score minus black score is 120, and then white here has an extra knight, so 320. Everything else is the same material, so that is 0. 320 material value total, add them and you get 440, which is equivalent to the AI score.